Black. Snow flurries down in Florida.
Good.
Shut 327. Pipe down in this little. Under the concrete countertop, I want to make a little shelf, and that brings me to this board. This board is a Cull lumber board, 70% off. I wanted cedar to match the stand, but the cedar board, this same dimension, over $25. This one, since it was cold, 70% off, I got it for about $3.30. Then I took my extra money and I bought this stain. I'll stain it to look a little more like cedar. It's going to be under. Who's going to see it? Who's going to know? If you don't tell them, I won't tell them. So I'm going to chop this up into 15-inch sections, and we're going to build a little shelf out of it. Just last night I cut these boards. These are going to be the shelf that goes underneath the concrete countertop. This one I ran out of the pine, so I used a fir. We just won't put stain on it. Shh, don't tell anybody. I'm going to sand them down a little bit now, then we'll put some stain on them. It is officially stain them time. I'm only doing the front side, the top side. The bottom you'll never see. Slight dilemma, my brush is a little bit bigger than the can. Be alright. Does that look kind of like cedar? Good enough? A few minutes later, all the shelving boards have been stained. When they dry, we'll put the shelf together. So I'm going to screw this little strip in here, and then the other boards will sit on top. There'll be a strip on this side, a strip on that side, and the other ones will just sit right on top of them. Something like that. Not a real good color match. I'm just going to tell people it's supposed to match the ceiling. It's a ceiling extension. This is the finished under cabinet shelf. Here we are out here in the tiny house about to seal the countertop. And it's even smoother now after the dye than it was before the dye. When we put the seal on, it's going to have the wet look. That's what we're about to do. So I've got the windows open. I'm going to turn on a fan. We're going to get this thing done. Smells like milk. Now you're supposed to put this on, wait 2 hours, put it on again. I guess that's what we'll do. This is that same 1/4 inch nap bar. Wash it out, we're going to reuse it. Was a lot quicker than the dye was. Okay, it's been close to 2 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and roll on the second coat. Tired of waiting. Now that's supposed to dry for a while and then we're done. Easy. Now on the second coat, you're supposed to let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes, let it soak in, and then wipe it dry. So let's start the timer. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes and I feel it. It feels pretty dry. They said to wipe it off. I don't know what they said to wipe it off with. I've got a towel. I guess I'll rub it with a towel, see what happens. Nothing. I guess that's the look we're going to get. Now they say it's going to be dry in 24 hours, which will be tomorrow at the same time. That's when we're going to put the sink in. Well, sometime after that point. 10-foot PVC time. Now I'm going 1.5 PVC for my drains. Hey, why not? Now this is the drain coming out of the kitchen sink. And I think what I'll do here, I'll put a T. And then I'll put this plug in. And that way, if we ever get a stop up in the drain somewhere between here and the other side of this big house, we can clean it out with a hose. That's what I'm thinking. Probably won't ever need it on a house this size, but I don't care. It's just what I want to do. And there's your clean out drain. Today we are preparing to install the sink. Action. Now what they recommend is go ahead and hook these lines up while it's upside down. Makes perfect sense to me. Hang on. Okay, and now I have the lines. We'll go ahead and put these babies on. Okay, what he's doing now, he's drilling out these holes where these clamps hold the sink on. There's got to be a way to get to that screw head, so I'm drilling these holes so we can get access to them. Okay, that's where the sink goes. I'm just going to flip it over, put some silicone around it, drop it back into place, put the anchors on. Sink install, I'm going with 100% pure silicone. Okay, the silicone is on, and if you ever decide you want to change sinks, good luck. We'll go under now and put the little claws on. That's what the little clips look like when they're tight, when they're in the right position. Tight and in place. There's another one. All 8 are in place. I had one on this side that gave me a little bit of trouble. He tried to sneak away. Still had to drill a second hole so I could get him back into place. But they are tight, and we'll go now to hooking up the lines to the wall valves. Should be good. And now both the cold water supply and the hot water supply lines are hooked up. Next we need to go up and hook the drain up. They said to put this piece in while the sink was still out. I didn't want to do that. Plumber's putty time. Oh, and I got a clear P-trap here. I'm sure that'll stay clear for years and years, or at least a few minutes. So these recycled 2x4s came out of my camper. That used to be the bed in the camper, and they've got some nails in there. If I bend those nails up, you can hang stuff underneath the countertop. Like that. Little custom hangers. Okay, so I've got 2 gaskets. These go on the bottom. This nut goes on the bottom. This goes in the hole. And we've got plumber's putty. Plumber's putty goes underneath this piece. It forms a little gasket. Plumber's putty. I just form up a little snake. Put it around the hole. Chop him off. Now we put the nut on the bottom. We might squeeze a little more putty out. That's okay. And we'll put rubber seal on top. Now to keep the system from spinning, I'll stick some needle nose up in those holes. Snug up the nut. Now the drain is all hooked up. The accordion pipe's not the prettiest, but I had to have it. Just don't look at it. I think up next we'll turn them water valves on. Well, where are you going? I think up next we'll turn on the water valves, turn on the faucet, and watch some water flow through, check for leaks. Now we'll turn the water on and you should see some water flowing through the clear P-trap. Maybe our next step should be water heater. And here goes nothing. First time ever. It's been on maybe 2 minutes and it's already starting to get warm. I guess it works. Okay, in the sink I've got the hot water running and it's looking like 118 degrees. That'd be too hot for my shower. This is look at my drain pipe. That'll be where the kitchen sink hooks up, flows downhill. That's where the shower comes into the picture. And that's gonna shoot out over here, out by the solar water tank. Into what? I don't know yet. Maybe just a bucket with a hose to waters the trees. We'll see. What you see here is the drain clean out shoots over to the solar water heater. If you'll look right there, that'll be where the shower comes into the system, ties into the main drain. You're not gonna get an easier system than that. Okay, this is the shower drain, comes down, goes over straight over to the main drain, which is this pipe right here. That goes over to the sink and out by the solar water tank. Subs out from under the house. That's the drain. I'm gonna have to put some kind of bucket or something here to collect the water, and then maybe a hose that runs to a tree and then to a different tree. Each day could be a different tree. So I'm playing around with the idea of putting some 90s on. One that goes up, one that goes over, and then one that dumps down into a bucket. This is the backsplash, and it's a little bit too long, so I'm gonna try to chop him off. I've got a masonry blade in the skill saw. Let's see how it works. Okay, I guess. There's the 2 tiles we just cut. That side's ready. This side's ready. Might as well start gluing these on. Hey, this very day, Craigslist, $600, I found a trailer frame. Used to be a travel trailer, 8 by 25. It's gonna make my tiny house look like a tiny house. So this will be tiny house number 2, if all goes as planned. Just don't know when we're gonna start it. But we've got the foundation. So the kitties went out and picked the okra that was big enough, and they're boiling them up some slimy okra. You want to get one out of there? Show the viewers how slimy it is.
Ugh.
You want to stab it? Oh, it's too hot for you? Is it done? Yeah, it's hot. Is it done?
Mhm.
It is done. Let me see it. They want to see it up close. Yeah, that's done. Just look on the tail here. There's a whole cluster of babies down up in there. There's the mama. There's the babies. I've never seen anything like that before. It's kind of like that sunflower with all the flowers on it.
And you can pick them up.
The babies?
Yeah.
Pick up a baby.
Or try. We did it last night.
Are you ready to let this little girl go?
Yeah. Hold on, Dad. You got this.
You want to go?
Dad, I want to find a little baby.
There
Don't
you
let
go.
it go yet.
I've already let
I
her go.
picked up one. There's still a lot of babies in there.
We'll let those go too.
Dad, look. I picked one up. Look.
She's got a baby.
Dad, look.
And she's got a baby. Let me see if I can focus on that better.
Look at mine.
She's got a little baby one. And she's got a little baby one. Look like little lobster fleas.
And they're dark. Looks
got
like
dark
there's mud
on
on them.
There's the little baby.
I'm going to pick it up. No,
That is the smallest crawdad I've ever seen. Ever. In my whole life I've never
Dad,
seen
look,
one
it's
that
holding
small.
one.
Holding one?
Mhm.
There you go. We were out riding in the back roads and found this old church. And if you roam through the cemetery, there is a Civil War. Guy died in the Civil War way over there. Where's he at? Oh, right there. See the flags? He fought in the Civil War. Looking for some tiny house part 2 ideas. And I see this tiny house. It also gives me some bathroom ideas. This is a real live old-fashioned outhouse. Pretty neat. It's about the same size as a tiny house, just without a loft. And with more potties. Big question is, what is inside of an old church? Well, of course they've got pews. You can see all the way to the tin roof. That's about all I can make out in the dark. One more shot of that old church. I'd like to build me a house just like this. Built just in the same style, same pitch roof, same size. It's about 60 by 30. I walked it off. The sheriff followed us out here. So we came down to the river, took a trail through the woods, and we found this curve in the river. Big sandbar here to play on. Nice spot. Quiet, scenic. I think I want to bring my boat down here. My boat might be too big to bring down here. I'd like to put my boat in down here somewhere. Uh-oh, we see some ripples in the water. Put my boat in here and just go down the river for a few days. Have somebody pick me up down the river. That sounds like a video adventure to me. Now, if you listen, there's something over in the bushes walking around. I don't think we get a chance to see it, but I can hear it. Okay, I see it. It looks like maybe a raccoon. I saw it moving. Could be an armadillo. Where is it at? Do you guys see it?
Yes.
I'm talking about the internet people. Is that it right there? Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. It's an armadillo. I told you. Those are good eating, by the way. I hear they're really good eating. And you can make a purse out of their shell. Wrap the tail around. So that something keeps popping in the water. I don't know what it is. It's a mystery. What you see here is an off-road trailer with a tent on top. We've got to make one of these. Y'all think we should make one? And might need a Jeep to pull it with too. You like the two-tone better or the white? This is the two-tone. And this is the white.